Hey guys, Level Cap here. Today we're going to be talking about the General Lee Yu rifle, both the factory and storm variations for Battlefield 1. How to unlock them, how they perform in combat, and where you're going to want to use them, and how they stack up against what's already available for the medic class. Now I feel like this rifle has gone a little bit under the radar with the In the Name of the Tsar DLC. There's been some other weapons out there that have potentially outshined this one of those being the Fedorov Automat, really allowing the medic to have a very powerful, fully automatic weapon. And when the General Lee Yu came out next to that with a 6-shot semi-automatic rifle, I think most people were thinking, oh great, another semi-automatic medic rifle, just what I wanted. So I think this one's kind of gone under the radar. Not too many people have been interested in it. And the secondary variation of this one, the Storm, actually has a sort of steep unlock requirement, needing to get 30 rifle fire grenade kills. It's not the hardest thing on the planet, but it does take some time to unlock. Now, if you're already familiar with many of the other medic rifles in the game and you want just a really quick overview of what this weapon can do, I would say it is most similar to the Subslaughter 1906 factory or sniper, except it's just slightly less accurate but has one more bullet. And although that might sound like an overall downgrade, I assure you the extra bullet, bringing you up to a 6 total bullet count, really does make a big difference in the killability with this weapon. The Subslaughter 1906 and even the auto-loading rifle with the 5-round variant, those are very hard to get kills with, as you have to hit 3 out of your 5 shots. This one makes it a little bit easier, allowing you to hit 50% of your shots and still get a kill with it. It still shoots incredibly fast at 299 rounds per minute, so it's a decent rifle for getting the single kill, but gets much trickier for trying to get follow-up kills. This again is one of those weapons that I would say is probably going to be an awesome rifle in incursions where you're expecting to run into maybe one player at a time, but in large clustered maps you really are going to have to reload in between every single kill you get. So it's going to force you into a much more of a supporting role, which you should probably be playing anyway as medic. But this one just really isn't going to allow you to charge ahead and kill an entire squad. You just physically don't have the power to do so with this rifle. Now, I do actually like the irons on this rifle. This, of course, is a purely aesthetic preference, but I found it much easier to track with the General Lee Yu irons versus the 1906's irons. And that's a big deal. I mean, this is what you're aiming with. If you have trouble tracking with one of them, then you're probably going to miss more of your shots overall. So that's another plus for the General Lee Yu. It's got kind of a cool reload animation. You can get the fast reload with the full 6-round stripper clip, and you can get that without having to shoot every single bullet in the rifle. You can shoot 5 out of your 6 shots, and the last shot in the rifle will be ejected when you open the chamber, and that's kind of cool. And then you just slam another 6 rounds in there and continue shooting. It's kind of cool having these little details added into the rifle, and I'm starting to appreciate the nuances of these things in Battlefield 1. Now, if you have 2 shots left in the rifle and you go for the reload, well, you're going to reload 4 shots individually, and that's going to take a bit longer. So it's something to keep in mind when determining your reload times and how many shots you want to take before you hit that reload button. Now, of course, I forgot to mention the unlock requirements for this rifle, mostly because they're pretty straightforward and it doesn't require too much extra explanation on how you can unlock it the easiest. The first factory variant of this rifle rifle requires 40 kills with the Mondragon Storm and 30 squad revives. You should be doing the squad revives regardless of the assignment. And then the Mondragon Storm, although not my most popular rifle out there, it's still pretty darn easy to get kills with. Then the Storm variant of this rifle requires that you get 50 kills with the auto-loading 8.35 Marksman. Again, something that I think is fairly easy to do with the medic class. It's a very good rifle to use. And then you have to perform 30 kills with the rifle fire grenade. And this is the more time-intensive one. I recommend playing infantry-intensive maps like Argonne Forest or Amiens and just spamming those grenades away. You're going to die a lot because you're shooting grenades in stupid situations, but it shouldn't take you too long to get it. I had a friendly support player with me while I was doing it, so I was able to reload and get my rifle fire grenades back pretty quickly, and that did help me complete the assignment faster. And funny enough, when I got the Storm unlocked, I really didn't enjoy the Storm as much as I did the factory variant. Both have the exact same iron sights. Aesthetically, visually, everything is pretty much identical about the weapon. The difference is that the factory has better accuracy recovery and slower spread increase. So basically it's a more accurate weapon, where the Storm has less recoil. I found the recoil on the factory to be totally manageable, so having reduced recoil on the Storm for lesser base accuracy really didn't seem to help, and so I just enjoyed the factory a lot better. If you really are struggling with recoil control in general, then maybe the Storm will perform better. It might be a better variant on console, but again, just having extra spread or worse spread recovery just wasn't worth it to me. So despite it being a lot of extra work to get the Storm variant, I really just don't think it's worth going for that version. The differences between the two rifles are very, very minute. It really just comes down to spam firing the weapon and how much accuracy you need during that spam fire. Again, if you need ultimate accuracy and the best thing to punch out at further ranges, you'll probably want to use the 1906 instead of this weapon anyway. Now, what's kind of cool about this rifle is that it is a Chinese rifle. General Li Yu was a Chinese general and the inventor of this rifle, and he was responsible for getting it designed and manufacturing the weapon. And it is, I believe, the first semi-automatic Chinese rifle ever to exist. And so that's kind of a cool bit of history. And I like that Chinese weapons have been showing up in Battlefield games for a while now. And I wasn't sure if there would be one in Battlefield 1, but sure enough, they got it in the game. Now, when it comes to overall performance, it is, again, hard to sort of recognize this rifle, especially when the Fedorov Automat just has come to the medic class and is such a medic powerhouse. The Fedorov Automat is a very easy-to-use rifle, and the General Li Yu is more of a precision marksman rifle. You really have to nail a lot of your shots to make this weapon worthwhile. That being said, I like it. I think the 6 rounds makes a big difference over the other 5-round fast-firing semi-automatic weapons, and it still maintains decent medium to long-range accuracy to punch out further and get those kills at longer ranges. You don't have to fire this gun as fast as it possibly can at 299 rounds per minute. You can take your time and plink away at further ranges, and 3 shots will still down an opponent, so you can plink at people as they're running across a field far away, and it works just fine. So it's a nice little adaptable weapon. Now, the real life weapon also had an interesting feature where you could flip a switch and switch it into bolt action mode. I don't think it's in the game. I tried messing with the fire selector mode and there wasn't any other option. So unless I'm oblivious to something DICE put into the game, there is no bolt action way to shoot this weapon. And frankly, that's probably fine, because if this weapon shot slower, it would be absolutely pointless unless DICE changed the damage principles once it was set into bolt action mode, and that just seems like it's really overcomplicating the Battlefield 1 weapon design and would be a little too niche for most players to get a grip on. And one other cool stat about this rifle is that it has a very, very fast muzzle velocity of 800 meters per second, tied with the 1906 and the Mondragon. I mean, like, it's really going to be an ideal weapon for hitting people running at further distances. So this is, again, an adaptable rifle. Overall, I gotta say that I like it. I think I like it better than the 1906 because I like the irons better, and the extra shot really means a lot to me. So I prefer it over the other 5-shot medic rifles in the game for the most part. And it's solid. I would probably pick it as a competitive weapon, provided that DICE deals with some of the movement mechanics and reduces the AD-80 spam and the sliding abuse. But they already seem to be on that, so this could be a really fun and highly competitive rifle, provided that you're not trying to kill droves and droves of enemies. The 1v1 scenario, this is an excellent choice. Anyway, that wraps it up for this weapon review on the medic rifle. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it gives you an idea of whether or not you want to unlock this weapon or which variants you might want to go for. And as always, I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.